All right, it's time for some piano. Here we go. Hi! Welcome, welcome. It's so nice to see everybody. Do you like my new tapestry? Doesn't it look like we're like walking down the streets in like Italy? It's so beautiful. So welcome. This is our next Learn With Me lesson, and this is for our Für Elise lesson. This is a beginner adaptation of Beethoven's very famous Für Elise. So before we get started though, let's do a couple things, okay? If you can like and share this video, that will help me so much reach even more learners across the globe. If you don't mind subscribing as well, this is the easiest thing you can do. If you love my teaching style, if you like how I bring joy to your home, go ahead and subscribe so you know exactly when my new lessons are coming up, and turn on your notifications as well. Next, we actually operate a piano learning community on Discord. And that's actually where the heart of all of this happens. If you want to join in on that, if you want to be part of our positive piano learning community, go ahead and join Discord. The invitation link is located in the campsite down below in the description of this video, okay? I'd love to see you there. And then finally, I am actually on Patreon, right? So Patreon is that place where you can pledge monthly support just to keep things going over here, right? I have tiers as low as $5 a month, all the way now up to $300 a month for those people who want to be sponsors of some students here, and I would love to have you. That is basically the fuel that keeps my creativity going and keeps everything going here in the studio. And without that financial support, I can't continue. So if you have the means to do so, go ahead and pledge that monthly support on Patreon. Thank you so much. And that's it. Let's get started, okay? I've got my Für Elise printed out, and of course I use my file folders. And I have it right here. Now, as a reminder, this is a beginner adaptation of Beethoven's Für Elise, okay? This is not the original, okay? I have beginner students who would like to have classically inspired adaptations of famous pieces. So I am catering to my viewers and my students' requests here. So if you want to learn a beginner adaptation of Für Elise, you're in the right place, okay? But if you want to learn the original, this isn't it, okay? So I printed out my music, of course. I have it listed here. And let's talk a little bit about this, okay? I notice a few things at the beginning here. It says Für Elise, super easy, which is perfect for beginners. I noticed that my time signature is 3/4 time, okay? So that's 3 beats a measure. I also noticed that we've got a bunch of eighth notes in the right hand. And that's definitely something that's going to feel quicker than normal, okay? In addition to the eighth notes, we have some very interesting dotted quarter note rhythms, okay? As we're going through it, we will make sure that we're paying attention to those things, okay? In the left hand itself, I see a very consistent dotted half note, okay? So with that left hand, it looks like we are grounding our melody, and it's not too tricky, okay? Looking all the way through to the end. Now, if I'm listening very carefully to figure out what key this is in, I'm going to do a couple things, okay? I am going to play the first few notes. Look at the very end of the song and play the last notes, and I see A again, okay? So this is telling me that this is in the key of A minor, okay? This key doesn't really have any accidentals in the key signature, but you will find them scattered throughout in the actual song, okay? Just to give it that Für Elise drama, okay? Let's begin by learning the right hand, okay? I will switch to piano view and we will do our notes, okay? You got this. This is exciting. All right, here we go. There it is. There's the beautiful piano view. All right, so starting at the beginning, we are going to be starting on the last space of the treble staff from the bottom. So if we're looking at that, it's F, A, C, E, okay? But that E, it says to use a finger 4. So I will go ahead and put my finger 4 there, okay? So that first note is an E, okay? Let's go through this very slowly and we will do our note names to begin. The whole song, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. E, D sharp, E, D sharp, E, B, D, C, A, rest. C, E, A, B, rest. E, G sharp, B, C, rest. E, E, D sharp, E, D sharp, E, B, D, C, A, rest. C, A, C, E, A, B, rest. E, C, B, A, rest. B, C, D, E, rest. G, F, E, D, rest. F, E, D, C, rest. E, D, C, B, E, D sharp, E, D sharp, E, B, D, C, A, rest. C, E, A, B, rest. E, G sharp, B, C, rest. E, E, D sharp, E, D sharp, E, B, D, C, A, rest. C, E, A, B, rest. E, C, B, A. And there it is. Lots of notes, huh? Were you able to keep up with all of those notes? It can be a little tricky because we're not only exploring in one position. You noticed how I moved my hand and shifted, right? I shifted between a very comfortable C position up to a G position and even up a little bit higher, right? We had intervals of a second, we had intervals of thirds, fourths, fifths, sixths, and even sevenths. And don't even forget the octaves, right? When we were transitioning between phrases, E, E, right? That's an octave, right? That's jumping 8 notes on the piano. So you're really going to have to stretch those fingers and find a way to use your wrist to move across those sections and those positions, okay? You can do it, okay? It's just going to take some practice and memorizing the patterns in which you have to shift those positions, okay? Now I'm going to play the right hand section once more. I'm going to do it slowly, just like I did. This time I'm not going to say anything, okay? If you need to listen to those note names again, rewind this video and you can listen to that section again, okay? But this time I want you to listen to the notes and their relationship between each other, between phrases, okay? This is so exciting. Okay, let's switch. All right, there's my piano view. I will start with my high E, and there I am, and I will begin. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. you go. There it is again, okay? Now, it's a great little adaptation because you really get the flavor of Für Elise here. It's got the half steps at the beginning. It really sounds nice, right? You're really getting into it. You're actually doing fairly well and fairly close to the original in the right hand. Where they have adapted this one is mainly in the left hand, because in the original, the left hand is playing arpeggiated chords, arpeggios, right? Going all the way up the left hand, leading right into the melody line in the right hand, right? But in this version, in this adaptation, they have taken the right hand fairly close to the original, but the left hand is now playing a grounding dotted half note, okay? And that leads me into teaching you the left hand now, okay? This is very, very good because it's opening the door to classical music and the allure of it, right? It's so intriguing and it's so fun to learn classical music because it is like limitless, right? And it lives forever. I mean, we're playing music that's, you know, over 250 years old. And that's amazing, right? So let's learn the left hand. This is the beginner adaptation. You'll enjoy this left hand because it's nice and supportive of that right hand, okay? Let's switch back to piano view. All right, my friends, here we go. Now, you'll notice that there's two measures of 3/4 time empty. You see those rests, those whole rests? So we're actually going to be starting on a low A. Okay, you see it's the space below our bass clef C. Okay, they say to put your pinky finger 5 on there, okay? So let's go ahead and go through that, all right? I will count off and let's do it together. I will say note names as I play. 1, 2, 3, ready, and count. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. A, 2, 3, B, 2, 3. A, rest, 2, 3. A, 2, 3, B, 2, 3. A, 2, 3, C, 2, 3. G, 2, 3. A, 2, 3. B, 2, 3. Rest, 2, 3. A, 2, 3. B, 2, 3. A, 2, 3. Rest, 2, 3. A, 2, 3. B, 2, 3. A, 2, 3. And there is the end of the song. Isn't that nice? Yeah, it's not as complicated as the original, obviously, but I think it really is that introductory adaptation to just spark interest, right? You want to be able to feel like it's close to the original, and it definitely is in the right hand. But in order for the support to exist for that right hand melody, the left hand needs to be really, really strong, right? And if you're spending a lot of brain power focusing on the right hand melody, it's nice to have a left hand that is simple, right? It's not as complicated as what you would want it to be. If this was a beginner adaptation and it had something crazy in the left hand as well as the right hand, I wouldn't necessarily consider that a beginner adaptation, right? This really fits the mold for a beginner adaptation, okay? With that left hand, it sounds really, really nice, okay? Now, with that, I'm going to play this hands together now, okay? But I'm going to do it super, super slowly, okay? I'm not going to do this any crazy speeds or anything like that. I want to be able to play this to where you're able to play along nice and slowly, okay? You can do this, all right? A little bit of practice, and you'll be playing this beautiful version of Für Elise, okay? Let's play it hands together, together. Together, together, right? All right. So let me find my position. Now my right hand is on that E way up here, that final space at the top. And then my left hand is way down here on the low A. And I will put my pinky there. Okay? I will not be saying anything as I play, okay? Watch and listen very carefully, and we will get through this together. 1, 2, 3, ready, play. And there you have it. There is the super easy Für Elise, nice and slowly, okay? Now right now, that will be your goal tempo. Nothing faster than that at this moment, okay? Give yourself a week, maybe 10 days of playing it nice and slowly. And then you can start playing around with the tempo, okay? Now, we haven't talked about tempo. We haven't talked about dynamics, right? We haven't talked about the other things that make this special, okay? Now, this adaptation doesn't include any of that, right? There's no pedal, there's no dynamic signs written in, there's no ritardandos written in, there's no accelerandos written in. So with these ideas, with these special things that really make the song, we're gonna go through and add in some of our own, okay? So if you have a pencil, we will use it here, okay? Now, at the beginning, I think it's really nice to start with a good, let's say, mezzo piano. Let's say mezzo piano. So I'm going to put M, P, right? Right, and then it leads into that, right? And then as we are going through the line, let's go up to a mezzo forte, right? A nice crescendo, right? And then it leads back into the, right? So let's say that low E at the end of line 1 will be a forte, and then it will diminuendo down to a mezzo piano again, right? And then as that line continues, so we'll go to a mezzo forte at that point, okay? Now leading in to the next section, I think it should crescendo there, right? So let's crescendo to a forte, right? So at that point, let's diminuendo, right, to a mezzo piano, right? Let's diminuendo all through line 3 until that B in the last measure. That will be a mezzo piano. And then it'll lead right back into that theme. Crescendo. crescendo on the fourth line, right? We'll say that until a mezzo forte. Let's see, good. And then forte at the end of line 4, and then diminuendo back down to a mezzo piano, and ends with a piano. Let's say that, okay? Now, dynamics-wise, I think we're doing very, very well with that, okay? I will play through it with those dynamics shortly, but let's talk a little bit more, okay? There are some really, really amazing things that happen in the original Für Elise with accelerandos and ritardandos. It's like speeds up and then it slows down, and then it speeds up a little bit and slows down. So we're going to sort of emulate that type of movement and fluctuations in our tempo as well, okay? So with that, every time you have the intro, I want you to speed up just a hair, right? And slow down once you get to the A. And you go back to your odd tempo, right? Accelerando. Accelerando going into that section, and then a ritardando at the end of this section, right? And then it goes back in. And then a ritardando at the end. It gives it that drama, it gives it that feel of, we're really emulating as much of Beethoven as we can here, okay? Within our adaptation here in our beginner version, okay? That's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and write a ritardando at the end. And remember, every time that you've got those half steps, the introduction, a mini accelerando, okay? Remember, that means teeny bit faster, and then you gradually get back to a tempo, or back to the original tempo, okay? Now, with that being said, let me try and play it once more for you with all of those elements that make it special, okay? We can do this together. You can do this together, okay? This is definitely something that will come after you've learned the notes and are comfortable with them. And you can add those elements in that make it special, okay? Let's get it done. I'm excited. All right, it's so nice finding a good version of this for beginners. Then you feel super accomplished. It feels wonderful. Now I'm in my spot. I will begin. I will be playing it as the tempo I would expect, okay? Here we go. Such a nice version, huh? Now, you may have noticed some of my accelerandos were a little exaggerated. That's okay, okay? A lot of this is up to interpretation, right? If you find that you enjoy it more as written without these accelerandos and ritardandos, that's fine. That's totally okay. It's not like whatever I say is like the thing to do, right? Use that ear that you have, and it's developing into a very fine-tuned ear, listening to how the melody is presented and find something that works for you, okay? I can't wait to hear what you've got. Remember to join Discord so you can post it in our Learn With Me chat so we can hear how you're doing on your song, okay? I'm so happy for you and so proud of you. This is super fun. I like these beginner adaptations. Hopefully I can find some more, okay? Very good. All right, well that concludes our lesson. A few things to mention again. I am on Patreon, right? Patreon is how I make my living, okay? So if you want to support me, if you want to bring more lessons to the YouTube sphere here on the channel, the financial support is really the only thing that keeps me going, right? If I don't get the support through Patreon, then I can't be making as much stuff. I just don't have the time to do it. So if I'm compensated and taken care of, then of course these lessons will keep coming. I'm thrilled to do them, and it's so much fun. I'm meeting so many great people. So, and then next, of course, I mentioned Discord already. Go ahead and join Discord. And don't forget to subscribe, okay? Subscribing is so important because that's how I see my metrics, okay? Metrics are important because it's showing me that 77% of you are still not subscribed. That's a big number, right? So if only 23% of you are subscribed, imagine if all 77% that are missing are still subscribed. My reach is probably way more than what my 5,600 subscribers are, it's showing me, right? It's probably a lot more, but make sure to subscribe. Show me the truth, right? Yeah, all right, very good. Well, that's it. I hope you had a great time learning Für Elise, the beginner version. If you're looking for the music, check the description of this video, as well as on Discord in our Learn With Me channel, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to see you later. Take care. Bye.